Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we're going to go ahead and continue with FTB's Revelations. We're going to go ahead and go into a little bit of a different mod here. The mod that we're going to be going into is, let me get it up here. It's going to be called Flux Networks. So what this does, it allows you to transfer energy wirelessly. I don't know why I had a hard time saying that, but we'll go ahead. So instead of using these flux ducts to connect everything, we will still need the flux ducts, don't get me wrong, but say we were to place a machine, I don't know, let's say over here. Now the only way to get it from there to here is we'd either have to run flux duct underground all the way over to the machine, or we would have to get a energy cell, which is right here, the one that we crafted earlier. You'd have to grab one of those, place that over there, and then run the flux duct, and then you'd have to make sure that it doesn't run out of power. Because once your energy cell runs out of power, you have to either switch it with another one that has power, or you have to just bring this back to your charging station or wherever you have your power generation, and you have to recharge it to then put back over there. So if you have something over there killing mobs, for instance, as a mob grinder, you always want it to have power because you don't want it to build up mobs and entities to make your game lag. It does have a cap on how many entities can be in a certain chunk, so I mean, you don't have to worry about it too much, but then your production of ender pearls and bones and everything like that, it slows down because you have to worry about if it has power or not. So the Flux Network is sort of eliminates that. So what you can do is you can set up a point here, and then that feeds energy into your network, and then you can have outputs wherever you want. And as long as you set it up correctly, you can basically have power wherever you go. I believe it's cross-dimensional also. I could be wrong on that. You might have to create a new network in the new dimension. We might have to test that in the Nether just to go ahead and test it. But so yeah, the name of the mod is Flux Network. The main ingredient that you are going to need, I believe, is ender pearl. Yeah. You need Eye of Enders. That's like the main thing. And then you also need flux. And if you look at the little tooltip, it says obtained by throwing redstone in fire or lava. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that is in the mod pack that we're playing in. I have a little bit of it here, but I don't know why, but I want to say that it's set to false. I think it might have to go into the... I had to in my previous world. I don't know about this one, so we're going to test it here real quick. But my previous world, I had to go into the config and change it. Okay, I have 63. Yeah. So it's not giving me the flux whenever I throw the redstone into fire or lava. What it's doing is it's just destroying it. So we're going to have to go into the configs and change that. I don't know why it's set to default, like to no as default instead of allowing it to do that, but because I don't even know of any other way to get this. I don't even know how I got the stuff that I have. Maybe even chests or something, but I'm going to go ahead and find in the config where you have to change it. So give me a quick minute and I will be right back. Okay, so I just checked the config file. And it looks like the chance, or right here, under the, let me walk you through here just to make sure. If you go into your actual folder here, this is where I have the server, so it might be a little different. But if you go to your local mod pack storage within your file explorer, and then you head into your config folder. And then go all the way down until you see, it's just a CFG file. It might not look like a notepad over here for you, but if you locate the Flux Network and just double click it and open with Notepad, or if you have Notepad++ or anything like that, just a notepad. And then you scroll down to where it says enables redstone being turned into flux when dropped in fire. The default is set to true. And now this is saying disables flux recipe from fire, and it says false. So if it's false for disabling it, that means that it should work, but it wasn't working when I was trying it. And it looks like you can also get redstone, you can get flux from redstone ore when you mine it. So that's probably how I was getting the flux earlier. So let me go ahead and switch back over here. Okay, so now we're back into the game. I believe the other way would have worked as well, but I like doing it this way with the actual game capture, not a desktop capture. So it's saying that it's working, but I mean, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I was too. I don't know. Let me go try lava real quick, because lava usually destroys the object, but with this, it allows it to bounce around for a second, just so you're able to grab it, and then it if you leave it in there, it will eventually disappear. Well, not disappear, but oh, a slime. Gonna need him eventually. All right, where's that lava? I can hear. Found it. Let's do this. And let's do this. Yeah, it's just destroying it instantly. Yeah. Switch back over to this config file. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, back over here. Pull this back up. Thought I heard something walking. Is there something that I'm missing here? I mean, if I change that to true, that'll make this statement true, which means it'll disable the flux recipe from fire. There's something else in here? Light energistics block, forge, redstone flux, Tesla, energy types, energy. I'm not worried about energy. I'm not worried about blacklist. Is there another file for flux network? No. Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to deal with the amount of flux that we have, and I'll try to figure that out in between episodes, so we don't spend a whole episode doing that here. So, yeah, what is that? Why did that look like a stone butler? The butler from Tomb Raider, and the houses are coming back to haunt me. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with the flux. Like I said, I'll try to figure that out in between episodes. So if you're having the same issue, you can solve it as well. But it looks like just mining redstone, it has a chance of dropping it according to the config that we just looked at. So I guess if you have a shortage, just go mining, and hopefully when you mine redstone, it drops some. But I mean, the other thing that you need is ender pearls, and we don't really have ender pearls. Yeah, I would have put them in this chest. The reason we don't have any ender pearls is we don't really go outside at night to go kill things. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Flitzer network on hold for now. I mean, we could always throw the machines in here, or we can always just use this energy cell for right now. I was just trying to jump ahead of the game and get a little bit ahead. But what I want to go ahead and start here is a mob grinder, and the reason I want to do that, or a mob spawner, or anything, XP farm, whatever you want to call it, I want to start one of those, and the main reason is it'll allow me to get ender pearls without having to go out and kill them manually. I don't have to worry about getting bones. I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. Now, downside to what I'm trying to accomplish here is that when you kill mobs in the game, you get some random drops. When the witches spawn, you get hats. I want to say you can get hats from them. You get gold coins. I don't know if that's all within this mod pack, but you usually get a lot of garbage. When you kill skeletons, you can get a bunch of bows. You can get arrows. Once you get a bow, you put infinity on it. You need one arrow. And if not, you can go kill some more skeletons for an arrow. So it's not that big of an issue. So there is a lot of junk. We will be, once we get rid of the chest and we get into like a storage-based, a computer-based storage, we could always filter that stuff out with the garbage cans and stuff like that. But in the meantime, we will need a couple diamond chests just to set up with it. So when it runs, when we're not online, it doesn't get backed up with the chest, because once the chest gets full and then the machine gets full of the mob drops, the machine won't kill any of the mobs anymore. So then you get backed up, and it's just a nightmare. So what you're gonna need is there's a few different mob crushers or mob grinders or anything like that. There's a couple of them that you can use. The one that I always use in the beginning is from Industrial Foregoing, and it's called a mob crusher. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just type in mob crusher, because if not, you get all of that other stuff, and then I'll get confused on what we're looking at. So the mob crusher, it's not too hard to make. Just gold, books, plastic. Plastic's gonna be the little bit of a hard thing here. The main reason is you need tiny dry rubber, and I forgot all about this. Ooh, okay, we're gonna have to put this machine on hold because now we have to create machines to get the tiny dry rubber. So let me go back to Industrial Foregoing. This is all over the place here. Sorry for being not organized, but this happens in here because you want to do one thing and then magically you have to do something else. So there is a block in here, not a plank gatherer here. There's a machine that you have to, there's a couple that you need. Tree fluid extractor and latex processing unit. Okay, I'm gonna. So what we need are those two. You need a tree fluid extractor and a latex processing unit. So, I mean, the name is pretty straightforward. The tree fluid extractor, it extracts the fluid from the tree. And then the latex processing unit, it takes that liquid and processes it. Pretty straightforward by the name, but just in case. So we're going to need just one tree fluid extractor. You can make more if you want, but we're just going to go ahead and make, we'll say 2. I'm going to change this igneous extruder to, instead of craft obsidian, craft stone. Because we are going to need a lot of stone. And there must be an issue with this here. Because I did... Those are working. Hey. Lava and water. Okay. If this is receiving lava, that means that all of those have to be full of lava, correct? What is going on? Sometimes I really hate using this. These pipes. Is this? There we go. All I had to do is flip the switch. I just did that for nothing. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and craft stone because we will need stone for a lot of the recipes. We don't need that much obsidian. If so, we could always just switch it back. No big deal. But yeah, we're going to need a couple of the tree fluid extractors. Like I said, I'm probably just going to make 2. It's not really enough to make it efficient, but that's okay. So you only need 1 processing unit. So I'm just going to go ahead and... Let me see which one's cheaper here. Yeah, not that one. Is that the only way to make that? Okay, cool. Woo. Okay, so we can use the thermal expansion machine frame instead of the other one because that would have been fun because we'd have to go down to bedrock and then we'd have to take down a flint and steel with us and we'd have to catch the bedrock on fire and then there's a chance of it spawning this here grains of infinity. So in case you are wondering, the latex processing unit, there are 2 ways to make it for the machine frame or the machine chassis. If you are going the machine chassis way, and you do prefer this way, if you're already into Ender IO, to get the grains of infinity, you have to light bedrock on fire with the flint and steel, and then once the fire goes away, it has a chance of spawning this. As you can see here, there's a 50% chance. Actually, it's saying under a 50% chance, or it's saying, I believe that, I mean, I know what the symbol means. That means this is less than that, but, so you got around a 50% chance of setting bedrock on fire to get a grain of infinity. So, I mean, it tells you up here in the little tabs if what you need to do, but just in case you wanted to go that route, I'm going to go ahead and go the machine frame route through thermal expansion. So it's basically the same recipe that we've been using for a while. The 4 glass, 4 iron, and an iron gear, or tin gear, I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm just gonna go that route just because we already know the recipe and it's nothing crazy. I don't have to go mining. I don't have to go down to bedrock and catch something on fire. Me personally, this way makes it easier for me. So, I'm gonna need some glass. I'm probably gonna need more glass than that. So again, to get glass, it's either you want to put gravel into a pulverizer to get sand to then smelt the sand to get glass, or you can put cobblestone in the pulverizer to get gravel, gravel in the pulverizer to get sand, and then sand in the furnace. That was a mouthful. So I mean, it's a little bit of a process, but whenever you're playing modded Minecraft, everything's a process. I mean, let's be honest. Most things aren't just a point and click away. They're usually it's usually craft a machine. To craft that machine, you have to craft another machine. Craft the other machine, you have to craft this. To get this, you have to do that. So, eventually it gets old, but we're not there yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and make, like I said, 2 of these, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start making the machine frame. I should have everything to make the machine frame. Need 1, thank you. Okay, so I just need iron, cobblestone. I believe I need 4 furnaces. I don't know why I do that. Okay, so I got those. Go back over here, grab some of that. You need stone for the tree fluid extractor. You do need stone, so iron gear. I'm gonna make 2 of them, so I'm gonna go ahead and make the 2 gears now. There we go, 2 of those, and then like I said, you also need the latex. Okay, and you also need the latex processing. All right, so now we have the 2 machines. Now we have to power both. And basically what these machines do, you set a log in front of the tree fluid extractor. It extracts the liquid from that log, and then you have to transfer it into the processing unit. And you do have to transfer that with pipes. I mean, you might be able to use buckets. Let's try it with buckets just to check, just to make sure. So I'm going to need this energy cell here. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and just do it right here, just for ease, I guess. Okay, now we need some. Do I not have any? In my backpack? Oh, looking for some of the flux duct. Thought I had some, but I guess not. I mean, they're not that hard to make. I need lead. Is just this? I think I need redstone in that too. I'm almost 100% you do. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and make 12. I don't think we need the hardened, because it's not really that crazy of a machine, so I doubt we'll need it. So the way that, like I said, it has to extract the fluid and then put it into the processing unit. So I'm gonna lay out the machines first, because if I do this and then put this below it, I should be able to just go boom, boom. I shouldn't have to. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it only outputs out of the back. I might have just screwed myself here. Okay, you can't destroy it with the wrench, the crescent hammer. You can rotate it. So you have to place the log on this surface here where it's spinning. I believe so. Because every time I tried doing it the other way, it didn't. So I believe this outputs to the back. So I'm going to have to destroy these. Don't break my glass, please. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... This is going to be hideous, but I'm going to go ahead and do that and that. Rotate that so they're facing me. And then I should be able to grab some logs. This is what we have the most of. Do these not need power? Oh, never mind. It doesn't need power. Does this need power? Okay. This needs power. I just set that to an output and it'll just power it. Yeah. Don't even need the flux duct. Made those for nothing also. So, your latex processing unit's the only thing that needs power. And how do I know... Oh, not that. No, I definitely want it to be used. How do I know... Oh, okay. Okay, so you do have to feed it water. So I'm glad I set it over here near the aqueous accumulator because that's that's water. Let's do this. Like I said, everything's ugly right now. Everything's above ground, but eventually we'll get it rolling here. So as you can see, we're taking in millibuckets of latex here. So it's just extracting from the logs. No biggie. So now we have to get this from the machines to the actual processing unit itself. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Like I said, I'm not here to make things pretty right now. I'm just making it so it works, so we can get into the game. So once we get into like mid-game, because right now I still consider this early game because we're sort of just all over the place. We don't have anything organized. We don't even have a house. I mean, technically we have a house, but this is like not a house, if that makes sense. So I believe to get those into there, I believe you can use the fluid ducts, but I don't think it'll distract it. Yeah. So what we need is I have to try remembering what the name was. We made one before, I believe. Is it a servo? Not caps lock. Yes, there it is. Boom. It is a servo. We don't need anything crazy. Not that I know of anyway. Not tin. Iron. We have enough iron. We should be fine. But I believe we just need a normal servo. I don't think we need a hardened or reinforced or anything crazy. I believe those are just speeds and stacks and stuff like that. So, and the extraction rate. I mean, we're not in that big of a hurry. So, I mean, we are, but we ain't at the same time. We go ahead and make 2 of those because we do have 2 machines that we have to take it out of. So let me see if this works here. Should. So with the servo, you just right click like the big section. I don't want to. I guess you could say thick section. Whatever. The side that like sort of forms to meet the machine. You just want to right click it to place your servo, and what it does is it extracts the item from that side. So to pull the item out of the tree fluid extractor, you have to put it here, and the way that the arrow's facing, that's the way that it goes. So to take it from here to there, you just put it on this side. If you wanted to take it from there to here, you would put it on that side. So just put it on whichever machine you want to pull from. Basically, just put it on that side. That's the easiest way to explain it. So that does work perfect. So let me go ahead and do this, and then this should be starting to fill up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the servo. Just right click right here, and then right click it again. So you can blacklist. You can do use an NBT, which is like the little names, the numbers on here. So go to an actual item here. Okay, let me go to vanilla Minecraft item. This should tell me. No, but every item has an NBT. I think stone's like 1 or I don't know the actual numbers. I've never used them. But you can use that or a blacklist. I just set it to ignore redstone, and it automatically turns it on and it keeps it on. Just an easy way for me to do it. So, like I said, that just takes it into there. And I believe it's... Okay, it's not every... How many millibuckets does it take to get one? Looks like it's about 80. Yeah, it looks like it's about 80 millibuckets to get one tiny dry rubber. Not 100% on that number. I'm just trying to guess by looking at that. Because every time it's at like 90. Let's see. Because now we're down to like the minimum. 70, 80. Yeah, it looks like it's about 80. Because it was at 76 and then jumped up a couple and then went back to 0. So it looks like it's about 80. So it's 80 millibuckets just to make one tiny dry rubber. Name of that is just crazy. They couldn't have just named it dry rubber. Like, is there a large dry rubber? Oh, never mind. I feel like an idiot now. You take the tiny dry rubber into dry rubber. But yes, there is a large rubber. Okay, so let's go back to what we were doing here with the machines. And what did we need the rubber for? I don't remember already. Was it the mob crusher? Oh. Yes. Yes, it was. See? I lost train of thought, and it completely just blew my mind. We do need the rubber for this, because to get plastic, you have to smelt dry rubber. So you have to do this just to get plastic, basically. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Let me go ahead and stop the input on this and take out the glass, and then I'm just going to throw in the 2 dry rubbers, and then this should technically give me 2 plastic, which is all I need for 1 mob crusher. So we should be good after this. And let me turn back on this input, so as soon as that's done, you can start getting your sand and start crafting your glass for me. Okay, let me drop this off. All of this. Put that there. And this is the blocks for stone. Okay. Inventory is a little bit cleaner now. A little bit more organized. Let me put that as there. I don't even know how that got up there. I must have misclicked. Okay, so now that we have that, we can go ahead and start with the mob crusher. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in just here so I'm not looking through 2 pages of stuff just to find what I'm looking for. Again, we are going to go with the thermal expansion, not the Ender IO, for the machine frame. So we're going to be using this bottom recipe. So we just need an iron sword. I believe everything has to be like new. I think you can't use a damaged sword. I don't know why I grabbed 2 sticks. We'll leave it alone. You didn't see anything. I need 2 books. Do I have any books? But I got leather. Only 1 leather per book, right? I had another brain fart, yeah. Now I need this. But I thought I had books. Okay, I don't have books. Oh, yeah. Bingo. Alright, we got the 2 books. Let me put that in there. This back in here. Okay. So now that we got the 2 books, we got the sword, we got the 2 plastic. We need 2 gears. Gold gears. So we're going to need 8 of those. I believe it's 2 of those. I don't know if you need iron in the middle or not. No. Okay. So just 8 gold, 1 redstone. And then we need a machine frame. So we need the glass, 410, a little bit of iron. 1 of those. Make 1 of those. And we should have 1 mob crusher. Okay. Now that we have the mob crusher, that sort of eliminates, I would say, not half, but a third of what we're trying to accomplish here. Okay. I just did that just so I can throw some more stuff in there for modded items. Okay, so now we have the mob crusher. So the mob crusher will destroy or kill the mobs. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. So now what we need is a way to get mobs. So you could always just do the old school vanilla mob grinder. I'm not too familiar with those specifically. I remember back in the 360 when I first started playing Minecraft, it was on the 360. And we used to build like a tower, and then we used to like, it used to be real high. I think it was like 24, 25 high, where they would go and fall down, like the mobs would fall down, where you would only have to hit them with your hand once. We knew the exact number then. I don't now. But yeah, you used to build it up like 20, 24, something like that. And then you used to branch out like 9 each direction and then make it out of cobblestone or whatever you wanted to make it out of, and put no torches, just have it dark. And as soon as they would spawn, they would fall into the water, because water only travels 8 blocks, and that's why you make it 9. You force them using the water, you force them to the middle, and then that's where they fall down, and then that's where you hit them once. You could always do it that way. But then the mob crusher is kind of pointless, because then, I mean, not technically, because it only have to hit it once, but a mob crusher can kill most enemies with only 1 hit. I think the only thing it can is like bosses, like the wither and gas, even gas. I think it can. So it's not really you don't get the full potential of it by doing it that way, because you could always just get one of the I forget what it is. There's a block in one of the mods where you can make, like, if I put a sword in it, I can have it automatically right click or left click on whichever block I give it. So if I set it up to left click, I could just give it a redstone repeater and it would just keep left clicking and it would automatically kill it. So you could always find different ways to do things. So I prefer the mob crusher. So like I said, we just need a way to get mobs, and the easiest way that I have done it, and I don't know if it's the most efficient, I don't know if it's the greatest idea. I just remember watching a YouTuber, his name's Gaming on Caffeine. I used to watch his Feed the Beast Monster and just modded Minecraft tutorials. And I believe he is the first one that I saw do it, because I didn't really watch modded Minecraft then. You use a drop of evil. And what the drop of evil does is it creates cursed earth. There used to be a ritual and everything. You used to have to put down an enchantment table surrounded by redstone. You had to wait until the moon was directly above you, and then you had to sacrifice an animal or a mob or anything to it. And when that would happen, it would create like an explosion, and then that's where the cursed earth would spawn. And then you had to use silk touch on a shovel to get the cursed earth. And because cursed earth, if it's hit by sunlight, it starts to burn and it destroys itself. So you had to sort of do it before the daytime came. But the problem with cursed earth is it spawns creatures. Or mobs, not creatures. It spawns mobs. So whenever you did this, it created an explosion, and then you had mobs spawning instantly. And they spawn at a more rapid pace. The mobs are quicker, so they're a lot faster than you are. And I believe they were stronger at that point too. So it was sort of like it was sort of a risky thing to do, because if you died and you were a little bit farther away because you don't want to do it right next to your house, well, of course I didn't when I was playing it. Instead of like squaring myself in or building a building around me so there's no way for them to get out and there's no way for sun to get it so I can take my time, I didn't do that. Why would I do something like that? But yeah, it was crazy. It was like a risky thing to do. And now all you have to do is go kill wither skeletons and get a drop of evil. And then all you do is just drop it on a piece of dirt and it spreads as far as it can. I'm sure there's a max, but it just spreads. So, I mean, I don't really like the way that you have to do it now, but either way, the block is called Cursed Earth. It's fairly straightforward. What I like to do is I like to make an area because I believe the mob crusher... Let me check just to make sure. If you right-click the mob crusher or any block within the Industrial Foregoing, there's a little arrow or crosshair down here. It says Show Working Area. That tells you where it's going to work. So the mob crusher will only kill something if it's in this highlighted block, which is only one block. Now you can enhance that with, I forget exactly what they're called. Let me look it up real quick just to get the name. Range add-ons. So what they do is it increases the range. I mean, you can put an adult filter on. We'll get into that a little bit later. I don't know if I'll be using it, but you can use a range add-on. So what it does is it just increases by the number. So +4, +5, +6, +7, in every direction. So the +2 would take it 2 this way, and it would take it 2 this way. So technically it would be a 5x5. Or 5x3. 5x3. 5x3, I think. Yes. So I'd like to make it like 7x7. Make it a little bit bigger. And then I just throw on one of these giant ones that take like 8 or 9 or somewhere around that. I like to do the 8 because it's just gold. Like, it's nothing crazy, you know. So I like to do that. So I make the area 7x7. You can make it whatever you want. You can make it 20x20 if you want. I don't know. There's something about the 7x7 that I've been doing for a while. I believe that's what it's been, is 7x7. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. Now, with building the structure, it doesn't really matter what you do. I could just put it, like, if I put 4 pieces of dirt right here and put the drop of evil, it would spread to these 4 blocks, and that's it. But I like to make like a separate entire building for it, and I'm a little crazy with it. I don't know why, but it's just what I do. So leave me alone. Leave me alone. So, like I said, it does spread to dirt everywhere, so I like to make sure it doesn't. And I know it won't, but I always double check and triple check and everything. So I just go overboard just to make sure it doesn't spread. So what I like to do is make sure that I have enough for, like, I'm gonna do this out of stone brick first off. Okay, so I have enough stone brick. So I want to make sure that there's a barrier on the ground, it's like this, and then also here. So the dirt would be here. So there's absolutely no diagonal block. There's no this, like, sideways or downwards. So that's my objective for this. And the reason I do that is I don't know if Cursed Earth expands diagonally. So I like to make sure that it's 100% never going to touch another piece of dirt, because if it touches another piece of dirt, it could spread all the way. And then I won't be screwed because all I have to do is just wait for daytime, but I like to, like I said, I like to make sure. So I'm going to put down my base barrier here. And we will be making another item, probably next episode, just to make it a little bit easier for building. There is a block, it's like a wand, builder's wand. What it does is it makes building 1,000 times easier. Let's just put it that way. like 1,000 times easier. Okay, so I did that. So that's sort of like my base. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. The reason I did it perfectly is I did 3 of the excavators, which is 9. Block that side, that side, 7 here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7, 8. We'll do that way. Like I said, I'm not the greatest builder, so I mean, I just make blocks. I mean, I know that's what Minecraft is. It's just blocks, but I don't do anything fancy. I don't do anything out of like nothing crazy. I just build. So. Okay, this should be 7 by 7. 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's 7 by 7. Now we have some options for everything else. I like to make the front out of glass, but the problem is that, wait, is it not nighttime? Or is it just dark because I'm blind? I'm confused. You can only sleep at night, but why is it all dark over there? Huh? What do we have? An eclipse? A solar eclipse going on or something? I'm confused. Whatever. We'll move past it. Okay, so I like to make the front out of glass, but the issue with glass is that it allows the sunlight through and it could burn the cursed earth. So what I like to do is there's a called dark glass. It is I wouldn't say a little expensive. It just I guess you could say it's a little expensive. So you need thickened glass and then black dye. So that takes us back to what I was saying about the Botania flowers. Is that's the quickest way to get glass or dyes. So you need some thickened glass. Nothing crazy. Just smelt sandy glass, which is just 2 glass and 2 sand. Once you get that, that'll sort of put the glass, like I said, so you can see inside, make sure everything's working. It's the easiest way without having to come over, mine out a block, and then go back, you know? So, I might make all 4 sides and the roof out of glass, like I'm going to frame it in this. I mean, that's pretty straightforward, but, you don't need Enderman spawn in 3 high, so I do 4 just to, you know, give it that little bit of a room. Let me make sure this hits 4 high. So if I was to place this here, show this, where does this hit? Okay, so I can go, that would have to be the roof there. Right? Yeah. Okay, so that's where my framing is going to be. So that makes it 1, 2, 3. That makes it 3 high. So Endermen have enough to spawn because Endermen are 3 blocks high. I should give them enough room anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and build this a little outline here. I don't like how it's not a perfect square. I always make it a square. But I don't want the spiders to climb up the wall and then not be able to get killed by the thing. And then I gotta come in and shut it all down. Someday I'll learn how to build. Okay, so now you just place the dirt here. I'm not going to do it right now because it will create a big old mess if I do it right now. But what you want to do is just fill this in with dirt. And then you just put the drop of evil in the middle once you're ready for it. And then it just spreads out to here. And then this is now cursed earth. The reason I'm not doing it now is because if I do it now, everything's just going to run out and go crazy. I want to go ahead and make an add-on for this just to make sure it doesn't go higher. Because if it does, then I want to go ahead and change that. I'm going to do the gold one plus 8. It is a little overboard, but I believe it's overboard anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and do that anyway. Just because if I don't, then my luck is it's not going to do what I need and I'm going to be stuck. Do I have enough in here? Please? Yep. Perfect amount. Not perfect, but enough. I only need 2 plastic. I know this episode's carrying on a little bit, but there's a lot to cover in specific mods that I want to break up the episodes, but at the same time, I don't want to make a part 1, part 2 because I don't know. I feel like if you want to get your point across, just do it in one episode. But then again, I don't know if you guys want this long of an episode. It's sort of stuck in the middle. But if you guys prefer longer episodes and basically what we need to do in one video, just let me know. If you want me to split it into 2, so it's a little bit easier to watch, so you don't have to sit here for I don't know half hour, 40 minutes, and instead you want to only be here for 20 minutes. Sort of let me know what length video you're comfortable with, and I will try to accommodate to that as close as I can. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to you guys. So you guys are the ones watching it. Of course, I watch it back also, but you know, it all comes down to you guys. So let me know what you guys prefer, and we're gonna go ahead and continue with this before I get off track too much and go into a ramble, because I do that a lot. So you just need some glass plane. Holy Lord, I can't talk today. I said glass planes, and then I said gas planes, and how about some glass panes? They don't have to be a color. They're just giving you all the options. If you wanted to, you could scroll until you see just staying glass pane or just glass pane, which I did just. You can use glass plane. Take my word for it. So. I mean, you'll see it right here, but you know what I mean. There we go. Range out on. So now if we go ahead and add this, I believe you could just right click. Bink. Nope. No, you can't. I lied. Okay. So it doesn't take the height up at all. Okay. So like I said, I did go overboard. I could have probably just did the... That really 8 that way. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, it's only 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Wait. Oh, I see what it did. No, I don't. No, I don't know what it did. Because it's not 9 by 9. That's way bigger than 9 by 9. Because if it was a 1 by 1, oh, it's a plus 9, isn't it? No, it's only plus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. So it went from a 1 by 1 to a 13 by 1, 2, 3. So it went from a 1 by 1 to a 13 by 13 with a plus 8 range add-on. I mean, I know my math isn't the greatest, but maybe the UI is a little wrong. And it's a plus 12. But I don't... to me, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I don't know. It won't hurt anything. It's just if you walk on the outside, you might get hit. But just try not to. Get good, kid. So that's the mob crusher. Like I said, just hit the little crosshair. That'll give you like the area that it works. We're good. Everything in here is covered. So now we could just make we could make the roof stone brick, the back stone brick, the left and right stone brick, and then just have the glass in the front. But I feel like that would look horrible, first off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it all stained glass. And yeah, let's go ahead and let's see how long it'll take to do that. And then I might do that in between episodes and then start next episode by dropping that to make the drop of evil to make it the cursed earth. So let me see exactly how long it might take to do this dark glass. Because I'm going to be needing exactly how much. Let's try to get that. And I am going to be making a tape measure in between episodes, so I don't have to count these blocks and sound like an idiot going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all the time. I can just right click, and it tells me. So we'll do that. 1, 2, 7. So we need 21 by 4, which is 84. And then we need and this is 7 by 7. That's another 49. So what did I say? 48 and 49. That's 80. That's 97. So basically, I need 2 stacks. Let's just make 2 stacks. It won't hurt nothing. So I need 2 stacks of dark glass, which means I need 4 stacks of thickened glass, and which is smelting that. So I need 4 stacks. So I need 2 stacks of sand and 2 stacks of glass. Guess who has neither? This guy. Alright, so, I mean, it's not that difficult to get it. Like I said before, you just need some cobblestone. Gonna take the 2 stacks. And you throw a stack in here. Throw a stack in here. And put a chest there. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and this is gonna take a little bit. I could always just cut and come back just to finish it in this episode, but we still got a little bit to do with our machine over here. We still have to set up power. We still have to set up output from the machine, because this is the inventory. This is where the mob drops will go, and once this is full, it'll stop working. So you got to output that into a chest. So we got a little bit more to do with this, as well as getting up the Flux network so we can get some wireless RF going. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I'm gonna go ahead and do the basic stuff here, and then continue next episode with where I left off. Basically, I'm just gonna do the dark glass and sort of get a game plan going, so I'm not all over the place next episode. I did take a couple week break. I think only a week break. I just got a little busy with work, so I sort of had to step back for a week. If I didn't, I could have. I mean, I would have been staying up basically well over 15 hours, and I would have only been getting at least like 3 hours of sleep. So I think the best thing for me health-wise was to not kill myself and get some sleep. So I do apologize for taking a week off, but I'm back at it here. A little bit less work going on, so like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little basic stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.